Hello everyone, my name is Lumi and today I want to understand why everyone loves this book, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. Translated in multiple languages, this bestseller was written in 2013. Yet somehow now, 7 years later, there is a huge comeback and an enormous wave of hype around it. Really, so many influencers started to read and recommend it. And because, in my opinion, a book is kind of a public speaking presentation, I started to wonder what makes this book so loved by the audience. A little disclaimer before we start. This video is not a book summary, nor I will review the content of the book itself. I read it, I think it's good, but I was more curious what makes this book so good and special from a communication point of view. Let's get started right from the cover of the book and mainly with the title, You Are a Badass. Same as with a public speaking engagement, except you particularly were invited because you are special, or except you were invited because you can speak on a very specific topic. The title is vital to attract your audience. And I think that Jen Sincero made an amazing work here. The very first word is you. And this short word sets an extremely strong connection between you as a reader and her as a writer. Because Jen could have written people or someone or how to be a badass or everyone wants to be a badass, but she chose specifically the word you because it's super personal and it goes on a very different level. The second word is are, and I think it's brilliant that she used the word to be in present simple. And now there is a little bit of English grammar with a very non-English native speaker. This again sets a very strong connection between you as a reader and her as a writer, or between you as a reader and the book itself. Because Jen Sincero could have written you will be, or you might be, or you can be, or you are being, and so on. But she didn't use neither past nor future nor present continuous, because present continuous, again, grammar lessons with me, means that you are doing it right now. What she did, she used are. You are present simple, meaning that you generally are. You will not be, there is not a probability that you might be, you have been. No, you generally are a badass, and that's a fact, and that's the truth. Full stop. I think that the article is really appropriate in this case because if the author would have written you are the badass, that would be, first of all, somehow way too strong for this context. And at the same time, when you say a badass, it seems like you are part of a community of badass people. It's the same as an ethnicity. I am a Moldavian girl. I'm not the Moldavian girl because I'm not the only one, or I'm not superior. I am a Moldavian girl. It means that I am part of the Moldavian culture or the Moldavian ethnicity. Same as in this case with the badass. You are a badass, so you are part of the badass community. And the last huge word that you will see on the cover is badass. And I think that this word sets perfectly the tone of the book. This slang word, together with the very personal you and the present are and the little a, together they show in just 4 words how the whole atmosphere of the book will be. That it will be super personal, that it will be super friendly, and if you like more of a textbook or something that is very formal, then you should rather leave this book on the shelf. Speaking of which, as I said before, I really think that a book is very similar to a public speaking engagement. So in both of the cases, it can happen that you have access to your audience or to information about your audience. And if you do, really take the most out of it, because then you can adjust your message or the way you present to the needs of your audience, and then people that hear or read you, they really get the information quickly and easily and better and so on. But sometimes you have absolutely no idea who will read or see or listen to you. Same as with the book or this video. I record it and I don't have any control of where it will land. So in this case, you really can section and then target specific groups of people, like in marketing. You really know your message and you formulate it in such a way that it arrives at the group that you want it to arrive. And one of the easiest ways to do this is by thinking of a very, very well structured and very, very well thought title. I think it's also the big secret why everyone loves this book, because everyone, or the majority who read it, is part of the group that was targeted by the author in the first place. So she wanted to send this message to you. Now imagine you like something more scientific, more distant, more cold-blooded, in the sense that everything is very rational. If you are part of this group, you'll obviously not like this book because it's not targeted for you. Now finally, moving from the cover to the book itself. Again, I will not go into too much details about the content because it's not a book review. The way the author wrote it all honestly matches 100% the expectations that you get when you first take the book in your hands and you read the title. Because it's the same very easygoing, very friendly language. Honestly speaking, when I read the book, I had 100% this feeling that it's not the author that talks to me, but it's a friend or my sister that talks to me. If I could republish this book, I would really take all the words and all the chapters and put them in this blue or green bubble from Messenger, because I really had the feeling that I wrote my friend like, I feel down, I'm worth nothing, and my friend texted me back, you know what, you're actually a badass. And then, you know, all these chapters, really, that will seal the deal. If you're a publishing company and you like my idea, it's okay, you can take it. Just give me credits and money and more subscribers. That's all. And the last thing that I want to mention is something that I actually started to notice in more and more TED Talks and more Toastmasters and more videos. And this is vocifying the thoughts. And yes, in the classical literature it also exists, but it's usually, oh, it's such a nice weather, she thought. But in the new books or the modern books or the modern way of communicating and presenting information, these thoughts are really raw, in the sense that you really say or you really write, oh my god, it's so sunny and the weather is so beautiful, oh, and that's a bird, oh, that's a butterfly, oh, the grass is so smooth. You really write all this chaotic way of thinking, because we all think this way. We don't think, oh, such a nice weather. It's more of a, oh, and this and that, oh, and this is how you show excitement. This is how you really translate in words without even saying, like, orally, different emotions like anxiety when you really text very, very quickly, or you can show boredom when really the words are somehow heavy and bored. I think that this new trick of really vocifying the thoughts is amazing, and it enhances so much more the message sent. All in all, in my opinion, from a communication standpoint, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero is really a 100% win, because when you read it, it seems so effortlessly written, yet I'm sure it was precisely and very well thought, and it matches the title completely, which is not always the case. And if you're not specifically a fan of self-help or motivational books, that's totally fine. But I think that if you are interested in creating a good presentation or a good public speaking engagement, or generally enhancing your communication skills, this book can be really interesting for you as a good example how it should be. How you should really understand and target the right audience, how you match the words in such a way that your audience is hooked, how you really use words, either dialect or some slang or some super smart psychological medical words, how you really choose the words in such a way that the target audience is simply happy. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click here and here to watch more of my videos. Here to support my channel by subscribing to it. Click on the bell button to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Don't forget that communication builds connections and miscommunication builds MS. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!